If you only knew the power of the dark side, it is your destiny.
This is Take the Gate. I am in Columbus and it's absolutely miserable out here. It is wet and it is raining, and there's supposed to be a gathering at 7 p.m. at the Goodale Park in memory of Jonathan Crawford III. Signing out. I found this rather interesting. See the Nationwide Arena sign there? Alright, this is Front Street, and that is Nationwide Boulevard, and right across the street is their old building, I assume. So these here are the, I guess, insurance buildings, and the city of Columbus is in so deep with their insurancemen that they've created a arena named it after them with a street. Only in corporate America. Okay, anybody that's coming to Columbus that wants Chipotle, for future reference, they close at 4 p.m. downtown, Monday through Friday, and special events. So, it is Thursday. Looks like all the restaurants close early, so if you want to grab something, I'm guessing you're going to have to head to a bar to get it.
Baby and I walk through the door together when we go to the tragic party. Oh, 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 oh no.
Some of the things that I thought, you know, you would see, like in Ferguson, like a string with a donut on it and a pole attached to the string, called cop fishing.
Yeah, they started that up in Canada during the Occupy protest. That was great.
But I haven't seen that yet. I've seen everything else but.
Yep.
And there goes the anonymous flag.
You're in charge. I don't know whether they just got caught off guard with this one or not, because from what I understand, it came about real quick.
Yeah.
And
it's been posted for 2 days. No, it's been posted.
It was posted last night.
I just seen it yesterday for the first time ever.
I posted it to my daughter on Monday night because I wanted her to come.
Right.
And so it's been up at least since then. But I don't remember where I saw it. Probably somebody on Twitter is what I'm assuming.
Like I said, I'm just mind blown because everybody I know with Anonymous around here, we were all talking, and none of us knew who had planned it or organized it. How you doing?
Hi, how are you guys?
Now we're getting a few more faces.
Yeah, we were standing over there, like, we didn't know where anyone was, and then I saw the flag, and I'm like, like, that has to be so cool. There's no way no one's here. Googled it and saw something
Note
where
to
they said
whoever,
it's a boat.
next time, post the exact location.
So I guess the impetus was to make sure that the law gets passed where police have to wear body cameras.
I want to see that anyway. I want to see it for all of them. And I don't care what they are, whether they're feds, detectives, it doesn't matter. They can come up with something that looks like a button to use for a camera. So
They do for anything
there's no
else.
excuse for no camera on them.
Now there's some people that say that the camera always has to be on and they shouldn't have control over the camera, otherwise they'll just turn it off.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I've made that very clear when I was at the city council meeting in Cincinnati.
Yep.
I would also like to possibly see in the future police body cameras and or an anonymous reporting system for members of the media. And what I hear in my doing media myself out on the street, the people of the press feel that they are being intimidated by the police on scenes. And with their jobs being at risk due to police retaliation or retaliation from the public, me, myself, as a citizen journalist, I don't have a boss to report to about my behavior. But I do know that members of the media will have bosses that are over them, and if they step out of line, it could jeopardize their careers. And I think it's important that the Cincinnati police and perhaps council look at that as a potential problem in the future.
Absolutely.
Well, because, you know, I mean, you can scream, I was in danger, I was hurt, and he was going to attack me all you want. But I'm an avid gun owner, and I'm pro Second Amendment 100%. Extreme, I guess you would call it, use of a gun, that was exceeded on the second round. You know, if you can't take a person down with 2 rounds as a trained cop, you don't belong being a cop. Period.
If you can't take an unarmed guy down without a gun, then you don't deserve to be a
Right.
cop.
There are too many other things he could have done. Mace. Right on. Taser. Yeah.
Really talking.
So, I mean, if the gun was necessary, 1 or 2 shots should have done it. After that, he was just playing.
I heard
It was
they're
the
not
last
trained to do
ones
that.
that killed Michael.
And, you know, one killing a day of an unarmed man in our country right now.
Right.
Every single day.
We'll be back one more time.
No,
One
maybe
more time. One
you
more
can shed some
time.
light because, I mean, you already understand gun culture, correct? When the police here shot John Crawford, the third,
Right.
that gun was not orange tipped. Do you think that made a difference in the eyes of the police officer on whether to pull that trigger?
I don't actually. I think the cop just did it anyway, and it wouldn't have mattered if it was orange tipped or even if it had a big old paintball hopper on it. I don't buy it anymore out of it. You know, once or twice, yeah, I'll buy that. But when it's every single day, at least one person who is not armed, that's no. Not at all.
And I
no
think this is the
longer an
third
excuse.
situation that I'm aware of. Georgia, there was a boy with a Nintendo controller. He was shot by a police
That
officer.
one I didn't hear.
I didn't hear about
There was
that
one in
either.
California, airsoft rifle, and then this one at Walmart. In my estimation, I would put the culpability on Walmart and the manufacturer of the toy for selling
Usually
that.
Walmart has them. I mean, when they strap a Barbie doll down with 7 zip ties to keep somebody from stealing a Barbie doll, you'd think they'd show a little more concern with a toy gun. But yeah, I noticed it's all gotten way out of control with them. And, you know, I mean, you look at what happened during the Boston bombing. That should have been our first warning right then and there. When they went door to door to people's houses looking for that kid, the way
And
they
didn't
ordered
kill him.
everybody into the house under martial law, that was the first sign that the cops were way out of control. And it all started with NDAA. The second that they started writing that law, they were working out a way to work out posse comitatus without actually having to sign posse comitatus. So what do? You got a bunch of police officers now that are ex-military that just got back from Iraq and Afghanistan and whatnot. They're already trained. All you got to do is arm them.
You're
Now
right.
we have a surplus of military equipment, so they're arming them.
I know,
It's that
that's
simple.
crazy. Isn't that crazy?
I think that the city ought to be sued because of that, because they're violating people's Fourth Amendment rights
Right.
and Fifth Amendment rights for housing and quartering and running them out of the house
Hi.
without a warrant, most likely. You just can't have.
Yeah, I think there is
places carte
somebody
blanche
working
like
on that, suing them over the Boston thing, because I wouldn't have put up with it. I'd have been one of the ones getting tasered, because I'd have been in my front yard giving them the bird.
So since I guess there is no major organizer, somebody should probably take the step maybe and create a website that everybody can go to anonymously and then figure out how to link up after this to get your action done in Columbus.
See, I'm working on the one right now with the Steubenville case. And everybody here's from Ohio, and I don't know if you know what's going on with that right now, but one of the kids is actually back in school.
Oh my God, I saw that. Playing football.
Playing football, and is attending 2 classes with the girl that he raped. How cool is that? He's a registered Tier 1 sex offender.
With a whole bunch of minors.
So he's legally not allowed anywhere near school property, 500 yards from schools and playgrounds. But because he's got a politically connected family, all of his jail time was served in county jail, 3 months worth out of the 3 years he was sentenced to. And like I said, now he's back to trying for a football scholarship. I got a petition online, look for it. It's at change.org. It's Keep Sex Offenders Out of Classrooms in Ohio. Sign it.
They don't let teachers
spread
in.
it. Share it.
I guess the easiest way would be you're on Facebook, or
Yes.
probably go through your Facebook maybe.
Right. Jim Brew Anderson. Real easy to find.
Play with more people.
I'm gonna follow. Some stuck. So is everybody aware of the current situation in Ferguson now? Or?
No. What's going on?
You already know because I told you guys.
Oh, sorry.
They're calling in the paramilitary companies to come patrol inside Ferguson. So types like Academy, Blackwater, Craft, Spec Ops.
For what?
And they're pulling out the National Guard.
For what?
So that Obama doesn't have to sign posse comitatus. That's the whole reason behind militarizing the police. That's what he wants to do. NDAA is nasty. A lot of people don't know how nasty it is, but like I said, now they're equipping the cops.
But if everyone's unarmed, like that's unnecessary.
Right.
We have
They threw a
protests here in Columbus
Molotov.
all the time, and every protest I've ever been to down here, the worst it's ever gotten is I've seen members of Homeland Security. They like to follow me around every once in a while because of the shit I do, but I've seen a couple of them carrying AR-15s downtown one time. But I've never seen cops in full body armor anywhere near Columbus for a protest. Give it another month or two, if this stuff keeps up in Ferguson, or if a cop gets killed out there in Ferguson, you're gonna see it. They have the equipment. OSU even has armored personnel carriers now parked right over there on Kenny Road.
Ohio State University?
Yep, the University Police Department
Where at?
has 2 armored personnel carriers.
Over on the bus lot?
Oh my god.
They won't even fit down the roads. That's the most comical part of it. Anybody that lives around here, you know how narrow like Pearl Alley and whatnot is? These things can't even fit through there. They're 9.5 feet wide. They have LRADs mounted on the top of them. It's just ridiculous. I remember
They're
when
saving it
campus
for the
used to get
Michigan
rowdy,
Ohio
but-
State
yeah.
football game.
We'll teach those darn fans a lesson one way or another.
Right.
Did they have their hands on the rifles when you saw them?
No, they carried them around their waist because we had a couple of guys that were open carrying. That's usually when you'll see them is for an open carry demonstration or something like that. And a couple of the guys that know about guns, they told them flat out, don't reach for the triggers. And it's the same way with the cops. If they reach for the triggers, that's a threat. So as long as you don't actually have your hand on it, when you hear of those demonstrations downtown, those are actually good demonstrations to go to. And it's just funny to see the reaction on people's faces that don't know what's going on because they're walking down the street and then all of a sudden, here's 20 guys, all of them with loaded machine guns hanging on their shoulders. Because people don't understand it's perfectly legal as long as you don't touch it.
I guess since everybody's sitting here and mulling about, I'll just introduce myself. My name is Lloyd. I run a blog called Take the Gate. It's on WordPress and YouTube. I heard they were arresting people in New York City as well last night.
I can believe that.
I've seen stuff about that too. How the protesters were getting quote unquote violent with the police officers, which when I seen any videos, I didn't see any violence. They were just like.
We got to understand New York law though. Like in New York, just by me going like this, I'm intimidating you. And as a
Yeah.
police officer, you can
But
arrest me.
that kind of swayed me. And then she
What
walked
about
in and
the
she's
stop and
like,
frisk
"Oh,
policy in New
I
York?
don't know her last name.
It's nice, isn't it?
I think they're cool.
Yeah.
Where? Oh, she doesn't have my
Oh, okay. So I was just looking at the stuff. Yes, he is.
Catch any of the vocals.
Oh, okay.
You have to be
That's
pretty close
probably
to
a
catch
really
the
good
audio.
idea.
Well, have you seen Occupy Wall Street live stream? Not too much as a surprise anymore.
You can hear that guy talking.
I don't blame you there. I'm gonna set up the still case real quick to get it turned on. Give me a second, it's my video shaking.
Oh, I'm gonna say, did you? No, but this was you.
That's what they have to do. And it's not just, show up. It's like the government show up. Simulate.
No peace. No justice. 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 No peace. No justice.
You do it to the cameras. I've seen them in a couple of protests.
Can I ask you questions?
Sure.
You guys know about John Crawford?
Yes.
The third?
Beaver Creek, Ohio.
Do you think that the police are responsible for the shooting death? Ultimately?
Yes. Ultimately, yes, and I do believe it was also a citizen that had a hand in the execution of John Crawford.
Now, what if I told you at one point in time that toy guns were supposed to have an orange chip and they removed it from that weapon?
They were supposed to have an orange chip?
At one time, the plastic guns had an orange chip so that police could differentiate between a real gun and a fake gun.
We need better legislation.
So,
If that wasn't for sale in Walmart, it should have never been in Walmart.
So do you think that Walmart and the manufacturer should be to blame for not having an orange chip on that toy gun?
I feel like if there's a class action lawsuit and they are part of the defendant bunch, I wouldn't be surprised.
And ultimately, maybe it could have went another way, but it didn't go another way. Do you think that the Columbus Police Department, knowing that, is still responsible for the death of John Crawford III?
The Columbus Police Department.
It wasn't the Columbus Police Department?
It was outside of Columbus. It was in Beaver Creek, Ohio.
Okay.
Closer to Dayton.
Well, the Beaver Creek Police Department, do you think they were ultimately responsible for the shooting death?
I think apathy is the culprit, yes, and the police were the trigger man. But I think the fact that people don't care enough is the reason why John Crawford can't be a father to his child any longer. That's unfair.
Thank you for telling me about Beaver Creek. I was under the impression it was here in Columbus.
We feel it in Columbus. We feel it all over Ohio. We want justice. And we want the tapes to be released so that John Crawford's murderers can be brought to justice.
So I was probably misreading reports from the mainstream media about the location of where it was.
Yes, sir.
So is that like a suburb out of Columbus here?
Out of Dayton. It's
It's out of Dayton?
Yeah, about an hour west of us.
An hour west of you.
Toward
Okay.
Indiana.
I haven't gone there to cover any of the stories, and this is one of the first chances in Ohio that I've gotten out to cover something related to it. So it's not an excuse, but that's what I wanted to do. What was your name again?
My name is F. Swell.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
And my blog is Take the Gate. If you want to check it out at some point, you might find some of the stuff I post interesting or not interesting. A lot of people don't, but.
Hey, I read everything, man.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Obligation to stand up and do something about it. That's the only reason I'm here. Yeah, social media is a very good outlet for spreading this kind of message, and use social media to at least get the message.
Take the Gate. I am in Columbus, and it is 8:38, and the protest is still going strong. And we're here up at Goodale Park. I would have figured nothing like that would have happened in Dayton.
No, I was surprised too. My brother, his girlfriend, when he went to college was from Dayton. That's how we found out certain parts, certain sides of Dayton, like really down south in the 60s or something.
Wow.
Like, just called names in the hot house. Like, yeah, it's bad in some parts.